Chapter 3991. Second More. In the early days of the Divine Realm, one party had a special time and space, and it was hidden in the triple sky. This special time and space is an endless sea, and in the center of the sea, there is a giant island. This island has many fairy lakes, spiritual trees, and various kinds of fairy birds and beasts. There are also exquisite manors on the island. The mansions are full of flowers and beautiful, just like a fairyland on earth. This island is called Immortal Island. From today, our family lives on this immortal island. Jian Wushuang stood at the very center of the manor, next to his wife, and next to his parents and loved ones. Here, it's so pretty. A girl with a beautiful face in red looked around the manor and said in amazement. This girl in red is called Zhuo Yi, the granddaughter of Jian Wushuang's elder brother Zhuo Peng. If he is called Jian Wushuang, he must be called Grandfather 3. After all, in Zhuo's family, Jian Wushuang is the third best. I built this island with a lot of cost. Of course, it's beautiful. Jian Wushuang smiled and looked at the girl in red with a touch of pampering. He was a man of 2 generations, of which his parents were his first son, and although he reunited with his wife, he had no children under his knees. On the contrary, he is the second son. He is the third son of the Zhuo family, and his elder sister Zhuo Bing and his second brother Zhuo Peng have been married for a long time, and have a son. After so many years, the son has multiplied. There are tens of thousands of members in the direct line, but the tens of thousands of Zhuo family can really come to this immortal island, but very few, and only the most direct 4 generations of members can come here. As for this immortal island, Jian Wushuang did build it intentionally. In the beginning, the realm of God was completely settled. There will be no crisis in the future, and there is no burden on him. In the next time, he wants to talk with his wife, and on this immortal island. My loved ones live together. The immortal island name is actually eternal. He hopes that he can stay with his loved ones forever. As for the universe, maybe he will be too boring in the early days of the divine realm and will go to the universe, but now, it is still very early. I finally managed to resolve the crisis. Of course, Jian Wushuang wanted to live a stable and peaceful life. Fu Jun, cold as frost, suddenly spoke. Well, what's wrong? Jian Wushuang looked coldly. Tell you one thing. Leng Rushuang sneaked into Jian ears quietly, and said softly, I have. Has it? Jian Wushuang wondered, and did not respond immediately. What? What did you say? Leng Rushuang whitened Jian Wushuang a glance. Wu Jiansu suddenly understood that his eyes were rounded instantly, staring coldly at Frost. Shuang'er, are you serious? Jian Wushuang's voice trembled a little. Of course it is true. Leng Rushuang smiled. Ha ha. Yes, we have. Jian Wushuang smiled. He seemed a little silly. He didn't seem to be the master of the beginning. The strongest person in the entire starfield was like a child. What's the matter? Shuang'er, what are you smirking? Jian Nantian also came over. Father, mother, me, I am going to be a father. Jian Wushuang was excited and didn't know what to say. What? The people around him were surprised for a while, but followed by a surprise. I'm going to be a grandpa. Jian Nantian's eyes widened. Nantian, are we going to have grandchildren? Ji Wumeng was also a little dazed. A moment later, the entire immortal island was in an unprecedented joy. Time passed and 20 years passed in the blink of an eye. Immortal Island, inside the manor. Father, you do know. My brother's talent in kendo is incredible. It is definitely the strongest kendo talent I have ever seen. I think you can consider him as a disciple. A kendo genius, if it is missed and taken away by others, it is a shame. A young man with a silver robe stood on the manor's open space, and described in that section. And at the stone table in front of the young man in silver robe, Jian Wushuang and cold as frost sat down face to face casually. Jian Wushuang was lazy, and drank with a pot of wine, as if he had not heard the young man in silver robe. Look like. As for the cold, frosty smile, Chinga, how long did you go out to practice, and you have met several geniuses, and you just want to take your father as a disciple? The young silver robe youngster whom Leng Rushuang called Chinga was her son and Jian Wushuang, named Jian Qing. Jianqing grew up on the immortal island from an early age, and because of his parents, he was born with extremely high talents. In addition, there are countless resources on the island, and Jian Wushuang has personally taught him that he has reached the undead saint in just over 10 years level, and when Jianqing was 16 years old, Jian Wushuang allowed one of them to roam in the early world of God. Although only one person is fighting, Jian Wushuang has left several methods on Jianqing. These methods are only triggered when Jianqing encounters a life and death crisis. Once they are excited, let alone the early gods, even if they are in this star domain, no one killed him, and Jian Wushuang naturally felt extremely relieved. After 4 years of smashing in the realm of the gods in the early days, Jianqing is back here again. When he came back, he told Jian Wushuang and Leng Wushuang how good his kendo talent was. Jian Wushuang didn't take it seriously. Joke, this Jianqing only went out to practice for 4 years, and it was just the level of the undead saint. How many geniuses could he meet? Even if he said that the friend's strange height in the kendo talent battle, this so-called strange height is also for the ordinary strong, perhaps the master of the rules, or even the master, will be impressed by such a genius. Yun Ku's strength reached the level of Jian Wushuang. It was too difficult to find a genius that satisfied him and made him a disciple. When he heard the words as cold as frost, Jianqing poked his lips and didn't say much. He has stayed on the island for so long. Although he still doesn't know his father's true strength and identity, he knows one thing. That is, his father is very, very powerful. He was the ruler of the top power in the early world of God. When facing his father, he had to kneel down. Even if he was the master, he had to respect him before his father. Qing'er, how long do you plan to stay here? Jian Wushuang finally glanced at the sword. I'll come back and see your father and mother, you will leave soon. Jianqing rode. When are you going to come back again? Jian Wushuang asked again. A few months later, when my sister is born, I will return. Jianqing rode. Jian Wushuang could not help but glance at the cold frosty abdomen, where he slightly swelled, which made Jian Wushuang smile inside. Yes, he and the cold second child have been pregnant for 3 months, and Jian Wushuang knew long ago that this second child was a daughter. No surprises, there will be surprises tomorrow, everyone will wait and see. Chapter 3992. The first is more. 7 months later, Jian Wushuang's daughter was born, and Jian Wushuang named him Xian'er. Regarding talent, Jian Xian'er is not under Jianqing at all, but compared to Jianqing, she is more obedient and sensible. Wu Jianqing belongs to the more public and incapable character. In addition, there is the father of Jian Wushuang, who is wandering around in the early world of God. Of course, trouble is returned to trouble, but Jianqing's nature is very kind and not bullying. This is also the sword Wushuang and cold as frost to teach from childhood. Jian Xian'er, very clever from an early age, is very disciplined, and Jianqing belongs to 2 different personalities. Jian Wushuang also taught them how to be human when they were young. As for how they acted in the early world of God, regardless of asking, he lived on the immortal island with frost like cold, occasionally walking around, traveled all over the corner of the early world of God, the life is extremely happy. However, while living a happy life, Jian Wushuang's cultivation has never been pulled down. I must know that he is now the dominant Taoist will of the Taichu shooting world, and he can use the Taoist will to enlighten him at all times and even stir the universe. In addition, not long after he broke through and became the master, his strength was already in an explosive phase. With such a huge innate advantage, his speed of progress is certainly extraordinary. However, no matter how great his progress is and how powerful he is, there is no room for him in this star field. The years are ruthless, and time is passing. Blink of an eye. From the end of the war, the divine realm was completely settled in the beginning, and 36,000 years had passed. Immortal Island, inside the manor. Jian Wushuang sat there casually, and in front of him was a sturdy young man nearly 2 meters tall, waving a big axe and practicing axe there. Although it was on the island, the strong young man never exerted his magical powers, but only applied the mystery of the artistic conception of the axe, but the axe was displayed one after another, but the momentum was still extremely amazing. After half a ring, the strong young man stopped the movement in his hand, stood there straight, and looked at Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang nodded faintly, saying, "It's not bad to be able to reach this step in 30 years, but your axe Tao's perception is still too weak, and it has been improved a lot." "Yes." Zhuang Shuo youth focused heavily. "Father, Bei's previous mystery was extremely special. The mystery was too narrow. Many practitioners didn't have much research on the axe. Although Bei was the strongest in that mystery, he didn't get any before guidance, only by his own ability to reach the point to reach that step. He started very late on the axe road, plus this is only 30 years, I see his progress has been very good," he said. Jian Shena completely inherited the beauty of her mother. She was born in the same country, but the difference was that her mother was cold and frosty. It was Jian Wushuang who opened her window, but Jian Shena was not in a good mood. Indifferent. "Why, I just agreed with you, and you are so anxious to speak for him?" Jian Wushuang glanced at Jian Shena. "Where is it?" Jian Shena looked flushed, and bowed his head in shame. But the strong young man touched the back of his head and showed a thick smile. "I saw the coldness of frost beside me. When I saw this scene," he shook his head and smiled. "Wu Jiangxuana is the pearl of their palm. Jian Wushuang has seen it very seriously since he was a child. Until 36,000 years ago, Jian Shena and Jian Qing broke through and reached the rule of the rule. And Jian Qing had married his wife and had children a long time ago, and now even grandchildren and grandchildren have a lot. But Jian Shena, his vision is very high, and he has never looked after a suitable husband. Until 100 years ago, the Jian Wushuang couple took Jian Shena and saw this Bei while playing in the secret world of one side. At that time, the secret world of heaven and earth just happened to face the crisis of life and death, and the situation was almost comparable to that of the early divine realm 36,000 years ago. In the crisis, bald heads, it is the first strong man in this secret world that is recognized as the first shot. Abandon one's own life and fight fiercely with strong enemies. In the end, he beheaded the enemy, but he fell into desperation and almost died. Jian Wushuang saw Bei, and when he thought of the crisis in the early world, he also held a mortal heart. If he wanted to fight the scene with the demon ancestor, his heart touched, he shot and saved this Bei. Zhebei returned to the Immortal Island. Since then, Bei has temporarily lived on Immortal Island. At the beginning, it was nothing. Who had thought about his daughter Jian Shena and saw with his own eyes the scene where Bei gave up his life to meet the enemy for his hometown. This Bei has generated great interest. Wu Jiangxuana often came to Bei, and the two of them came out with affection. Until 30 years ago, the two completely established the relationship, and Jian Wushuang did not object, and agreed directly. "I have nothing to oppose." Bei was saved by Jian Wushuang himself. There is absolutely no problem in character. As for the strength, Jian Wushuang doesn't care, as long as his daughter likes it. From that day on, Jian Wushuang was also teaching Bei to enlighten the axe. "Huh!" Jian Wushuang's look suddenly moved and waved his hand, saying, "Xian Bei, the two of you are coming to the side first, your uncle god is here." "Uncle Xian Shen?" Jian Shena heard it with joy. She is the daughter of Jian Wushuang, which is equivalent to the princess of the early Taishan world, and the leaders of the early Taishan world, like the Shenshen Taoist and the master of space and time, are very fond of Jian Shena. Soon, the mysterious Shinto man appeared in the manor, and one person accompanied him. "Shen Yun dominates." Jian Wushuang showed surprise. "Have seen the Lord of the Blood Sword." Shen Yun dominated standing in front of Jian Wushuang, but his expression was extremely humble. In the battle that lasted 36,000 years ago, Shen Yun, the master, has been watching in the surrounding void, and has seen everything in his eyes. He saw Jian Wushuang break through and reach there with his own eyes, which led to the coming of the law of the universe, and then directly killed the demon ancestor by thunder. After that, he also knew that Jian Wushuang took away the early gods. I must know that before, Jian Wushuang realized a trace of the cosmic law at the level of the master of the rule. In addition to being a special life, these 2 points are already incredible geniuses. The potential is inestimable, and the Emperor Pavilion attaches great importance. But then Jian Wushuang won the other astral world. That potential is even greater and more scary. He even ordered the senior staff of Jodi Pavilion to personally make him as good as possible with sword unparalleled. Obviously, Jodi Pavilion paid more attention to Jian Wushuang, a super genius. Chapter 3993. Second more. Shen Yun, did you want Xian Shen to bring you? Jian Wushuang looked at Shen Yun as the master. Yes. Shen Yun dominated his head and nodded. It's true. I'm here today because I got a message. This news should be very important to you, the Lord of the Blood Sword. Oh. Jian Wushuang looked. His name has been included in the list of 9 emperors. In the future, Judi Pavilion can ask him to do one thing. Judij will pay attention to some information related to him as much as possible. Obviously now, the master of this Shen Yun knows that one thing has something to do with him, so he came to look for himself. In terms of a news, you just need to send me a message directly. Where else do you need to take a personal trip? Jian Wushuang smiled lightly. I'm afraid it's hard to talk about this by just messaging. I can only come here in person. Not to mention, Lord of the Blood Sword, you should look at this yourself. Shen Yun, the master, took out a sign and directly guided the message contained in the symbol. Jian Wushuang also carefully read this message immediately. Well, the reward. Jian Wushuang showed surprise. The order that Shen Yun dominates is a rewarding order. This reward order was issued from a force named Thunder God Palace in a starfield named Jouyao. The Jouyao starfield is a large starfield, and the Thunder God Palace is one of the 4 strongest forces in the Jouyao starfield. Of course, these are not the most important. The important thing is that behind, the Lord of the Blood Sword, you carefully look. Shen Yun dominated. Wu Jiansu continued to watch. In the reward order, there is a column of reward. There are 2 kinds of rewards. One only needs to provide the specific location of the other party. After it is confirmed to be true, you can get 100 rewards for the Source Stone of the universe. The second type is to kill the opponent or capture the opponent, and you can get a treasure of the rule of Chinese goods, plus a reward of 500 Source Stones. I have to say that the reward is very tempting. Jian Wushuang knew the value of the Source Stone of the universe very much. At the time, he sold an inferior rule of treasure in Jodi Pavilion and only got 150 Source Stone. And now, as long as the specific position of the rewarded person is provided, 100 cosmic Source Stones can be obtained after it is true. This is already the possession of many 4th-level masters, and even some of the poor 5th-level masters. It is estimated that all net worth is only about 100 source rocks of the universe. If you kill or capture the opponent, the reward is even more amazing. A piece of middle-class rule is a treasure, plus 500 cosmic Source Stones. This reward is enough to make the 4th and 5th series masters crazy. After all, many 5th-level masters do not have a rule of treasure, let alone a rule of treasure of the middle-class level. What kind of resentment actually makes this Thunder Palace release such a high reward? Jian Wushuang wondered, and then he continued to look down. However, when he saw the name of the person being offered a reward, he froze. I was rewarded by a person named Xuani, Xianyi. Jian was double-body trembled and frowned. Is it just a coincidence? The universe is too vast, and the number of practitioners is endless. There are naturally many people with the same name and same name. If the name like Sword Wushuang is put into the universe, I'm afraid I can find out 180,000. There are certainly many people in the natural universe with the same name as his master, Xian Yi. Wu Jianhuang's subconscious thought only coincidence, but when he saw a lifelike portrait at the bottom of the reward order, Jian Wushuang stunned himself. The portrait shows a middle-aged man in Xingyi. This middle-aged man has a slender figure and a handsome face. He looks very warm when he looks at it. Unbridled temperament. He is like a fairy on earth, standing on top of a mountain, overlooking 10,000 beings. He is like the sea without bounds, tolerating everything in the world. This is a person who looks admiring and fascinating. He painted a picture of him with a simple smile on his lips, as if the entire universe was in his grasp. No matter how fascinating this person is and how unique his temperament is, this is not the key. The real key is that this person, Jian Wushuang, is really too familiar. Whether it is the look in the portrait or the unique temperament, it is exactly the same. This person is a master of sword unparalleled, Xuani. It's master, it's him. Jian Wushuang was so excited that the whole body shuddered. Xian Yi. Xian Shinto was also stunned. Although he arrived with Lord Shenyun, he has not seen this reward before, and he does not even know the purpose of Lord Shenyun to find the sword. So now seeing the reward order, seeing the portrait of the reward order, he is also a little embarrassed. He naturally recognized that the person in the portrait was Xuani. I can't be wrong, and the name of this rewarded person is Xuani. Name, appearance, and even temperament are exactly the same. This can never be two people. Really, master, it really is him. He is not dead, he is not dead. Qi Jian Wushuang was already excited and didn't know what to say. With his current strength, especially in this star field, there is almost nothing that can make him so excited. Even if the incomparable laws appear in the 3 major battlefields, he is only at most slightly pleased. But now it's different. That's his master. He is a human being. If his parents are not mentioned, his most grateful and respected person must be his master Xuani. He is like a father, and even to a certain extent, he is no different from his father in his eyes. His master died. This is the scar that Jian Wushuang couldn't make up for, but Jian Wushuang couldn't help it. After all, his master had died before he was born. He had always been in contact with only his teacher. A consciousness left by Zun, and the only thing he can do is to complete his mission to explain his master and protect the pre-God world. As a result, he did it. In the beginning, the world was completely settled. But now, at this time, Shenyun's dominance arrived and he even saw him a reward order to reward his master. When was Shenyun overwhelmed? When was this reward order issued? Jian Wushuang stared at Shenyun overwhelmingly. After I got this reward order, I have already asked about it. This reward order was issued thousands of years ago. It is said that the people who offered the reward made a huge storm in Juyao's star region thousands of years ago. The palace offended miserably, and the Thunder God Palace offered a reward to reward him. Shenyun dominated. Surprise is here. Chapter 3994. The first is more. 1,000 years ago. Jian Wushuang ecstatic. The bounty order issued only 1,000 years ago apparently made Master Zun appear in the Joyao starfield 1,000 years ago, and it also caused a huge storm. His master Xian Yi is really alive. I thought, master, he is dead. Jian's body trembled. Many years ago, in the first war between the world and the magic cloud star in the early days, the magic cloud star was defeated and the 7-star Xuanzong was destroyed. His master was also killed in that battle. Even the corpse is still in the chaotic world of ancient times. When he was refining the chaotic world of eternity, he saw the consciousness left by Xian Yi, and Xian Yi himself told him that he was dead. This made Jian Wushuang no longer doubt, and always thought that his master was dead, and what he had encountered before was just a remnant of his master. However, if you think about it, Jian Wushuang can find something wrong. First of all, it is his master's means, which is too strange. You should know that his master Xuani is not only the first perfect life born in the beginning of the world, but the most important thing is that he can only create the second perfect life in the state of only the residual soul after death. Is the sword unparalleled? Creating a perfect life. At first I heard Xuani said that it seemed that it took some twists and turns, but also some luck, but in fact, how good is a perfect life? On the degree of rareness, it is even rarer than the super genius that the ruler of the universe realizes a trace of the universe's laws. Such a life, even the vast universe, has bred very little over the years. Xian Kexuanyi created it by himself and succeeded. There is also the heaven spell. This is an extremely powerful magical power. Even if it is of great help to Jian Wushuang now, he is able to make special life play his inherent advantages more. This mystery is equally terrible. Qi Jian Wushuang has seen blood waves in the world of blood waves, and the blood waves come from the Temple of Life, which is a top power alliance of special life gathering in the vast universe. And even if it is the top power in the universe such as the Palace of Life, only their powerful palace master has created a life magical power that can maximize the special advantages of life, and the palace master created when life was supernatural, It took a long time to study it, but it was hard to create it. On the level, perhaps the sky-cutting technique is not as good as the magical power of life, but the nature of the two is extremely similar. Even the blood wave, when I first knew that Xian Yi created the sky-cutting art, it was incredible, because in the blood wave, let alone the master of the rules, even the master, even the supreme, cannot come out of those secrets. But Xuan Yi did it. In addition, there is that chaotic world of ancient times. His master Zuni was defeated in the original battle, but he exerted great means to completely ban the seven-star god realm, and through the transformation of the matrix, he gradually transformed the seven-star god reality into a complete heavenly cycle, and finally let the sword unparalleled recognition. This method is equally incredible to Jian Wushuang, creating perfect life, creating sky-cutting technology, and transforming the ancient chaotic world into a complete heavenly cycle. None of these three things can be done by ordinary strong people. He is like a sword unparalleled in swordsmanship. On strength, now he should be far better than the peak period of his master, but if he was allowed to do all three things, he would not be able to complete one of them. This is for sure. But his master has done it all. Master respects him. Maybe his combat power is really not strong, but the method is the one I know. The most unpredictable person, even the star demon ancestor with special divine power and special devouring power, follows the division. Compared to Zun, they are all far away. Jian Wushuang muttered. I previously thought that his master was really dead, and Jian Wushuang did not really think about it, only that he felt that his master had obtained a special opportunity and only resorted to it. But now when I think about it carefully, Jian Wushuang found out that these methods of his master were not really able to be performed and completed with ordinary opportunities. There is no doubt that there must be a big secret in his master. Even the origin of his master, I am afraid, is not as simple as Jian Wushuang knew. Even the gigantic corpse that is still lying in the chaotic world of ancient times, Jian Wushuang is not sure now whether it is really the body of his master. Master, what is the origin of him? And what did he do? What is the purpose? He is alive, but why should he say he is dead? Wu Zhenshuang frowned, now quite confused. He had too many puzzles, too many doubts. Alas, no one can answer him. After half a ring, Jian Wu's eyes suddenly gave out a fierce look. Frost. Jian Wushuang looked at the cold frost next to him. I decided to go to the universe and go to Joyao Starfield. It was cold as frost, but I was not surprised. She has been with Jian Wushuang for so many years, and it is very clear how important Jian Wushuang's affection is to his master. Jian Wushuang thought his master was dead before, so he has nothing to worry about. Going to the universe, but staying in the early divine realm, has been with her to live a happy life. But now knowing that his master is still alive, and after Joyao Starfield, Jian Wushuang can no longer sit still. Dad, are you going to the depths of the universe? Jian Xian'er Liu Mai tufted up and immediately came over, followed directly and said, I want to go too. Funny. Jian Wushuang rebuked in a low voice, you can't play when I go to the depths of the universe. The universe is vast and the crisis is serious. Although I am invincible in this starfield, but in the vast universe, I can't even count it. What, even if I go to the depths of the universe myself, I have to walk on thin ice and be cautious everywhere. How can I protect you comprehensively? Going to the universe this time, I'll be with you and your mother. As for you and Chinga, you will stay in the realm of God in the early days and be your company for your grandparents. Jian is not bilingual and cold, and there is no room for negotiation. It is impossible for him to take Jian Xian'er or Jian Qing to the universe. As for his wife as cold as frost, it is also because of cold as frost because of the relationship between the hearts of the astral world. The strength has not improved greatly in these years. Dominated by the second grade, it is extremely close to the third grade. In addition, she was inherited by the Mist Supreme, and her combat power is extremely arrogant. She is no less than the third grade. Cold as frost with him. Otherwise, he didn't want his wife to follow his own adventures. Chapter 3995. Second more. When I heard Jian Wushuang's words, Jian Xian'er bit his lips tightly. Although he knew what his father said was reasonable, he still felt uncomfortable. Looking at his daughter, Jian Wushuang softened his heart and said, Xian obedient, although Dad and Niang will leave the early divine realm and go to the depths of the universe, both of us will be left consciously. Now, you can still come and talk to us at any time. The consciousness is the same as the deity, can it be the same? Jian Shen's eyes were red. Wu Jian Wushuang helpless, still as cold as frost came forward, so that he said, only to calm down Shen. In fact, Jian Shen has been very obedient since she was a child, but this time knowing that her father and mother would leave the early world of God, and still have to venture into the vast universe, she was naturally worried. Shen, go to Qing'e, and your grandparents, call them. Cold as frost. Jian Shen nodded and immediately called. Dominated by Shen Yun. Jian Wushuang looked at the dominated Shen Yun in front of him, and his expression had become dignified. I want to know the detailed star map leading to the Jouyao starfield, and there are also about Jouyao starfield. All. No problem. Shen Yun nodded his head. When I came, I had sorted out the star map and the information in Jouyao's large star domain. In this jade book, you the Lord of the Blood Sword. You can check slowly. Shen Yun dominated and handed a jade chain to Jian Wushuang. After Jian Wushuang took it, consciousness browsed. Well, so far? Jian Wushuang frowned. The first thing he looked at was the star map of the route, which marked the star fields that he was going to pass on this trip, and the approximate time it would take. According to the estimation of Shen Yun's domination, if he was traveling through the void of the universe at his own speed, it would take millions of years to reach Jouyao from this starfield, which is still not all the way. Whenever you get into trouble, it's just the time it takes to get on the road. No way, the universe is too big. The Jouyao starfield is not the most marginal part of the universe, it is indeed far away from the starfield where they are now. Of course, Jouyao's large starfield is still not the depth of the universe. If Jian Wushuang wants to go deeper into the universe, the distance will be longer and the time will be longer. It will take millions of years to rush the road alone. Jian Wushuang couldn't help but admire. After all, he has only been training for about 300,000 years. Fortunately, there is a shrinking cosmic boat in the hand of the demon star. After I killed the ancestor of the demon, the cosmic boat fell into my hand, and I used the cosmic boat to hurry in the void of the universe. The speed, at least it is more than 100 times the general domination, millions of years of time, saves 100 times, that is tens of thousands of years, at most about 100,000 years. Jian Wushuang secretly said. For nearly 100,000 years, it is not short anymore, but there is no way. If Jian Wushuang is going to Jouyao starfield, this is the only way. If he still wants to save time, he can only spend a lot of money to ride the cosmic passages, but one starfield and one starfield cosmic channel can be transmitted, the cost is extremely high. When arriving from this starfield to the Jouyao starfield, if it is completely riding the cosmic passage, the cost is high, and Jian Wushuang cannot afford it. No way, most of the starfields I can only ride on the cosmic boat, there are only a few crosses between the starfields, but I can pay the price to ride the cosmic passage, this will also save a lot of time. Jian Wushuang murmured. At this moment, Jian Wushuang's look moved again. He also saw a starfield on the star map that Shen Yun dominated there. This square starfield, named Ziwei starfield, is a medium-sized starfield. In the vast universe, starfields are indeed divided into different sizes. Among them, what can be called a large starfield, the first thing is that there must be a first-level astral space in this starfield. The first-level astral field is much stronger than the second-level astral field. Generally, if the first-level astral field grows to its peak, it can breed a large number of masters, even like the third level and the fourth level. The number and even the fifth-level masters are countless. Even if the first-level astral world grows up, there will be an ultimate level of domination. If it is in the depths of the universe, the first-level astral world is even home to the supreme strong. In addition to the first-level astral level, the second-level astral level in the large starfield is rarely said to have dozens or even hundreds. As for the third-level astral level, there are thousands of them. Only one first-order astral plane, dozens or hundreds of second-order astral planes, and a large number of third-order astral planes can form a large starfield. There is a first-level astral universe in the large star field like Joyao. The medium-sized star field is much worse than the large star field, but there will still be several second-level or even dozens of second-level astrals, and there are a lot of third-level astrals. As for the small star field, to be able to become a small star field, at least there must be a secondary star field. The star field where the Magpie star was originally located is a small star field. And this star field, like the beginning of the divine realm, is at the edge of the universe and the most barren. There is not even a second-level astral field, and there are only dozens of third-level astral fields. Star field. Because of this star field has not even had a name so far. The reason why Zhen Wuxuang will pay attention to this purple star field is because he had previously received news from Jodi Pavilion, knowing that the star Luo ruled, she came from the purple star field. Master Xing Luo, cold master like snow. The battle with Demon Star 36,000 years ago, the Lord of the Star Luo also appeared, but when the Lord of the Star Yun died, the Lord of the Star Luo immediately fled, and even Zhen Wuxuang did not know her where he went. He could only seek the of Shun Yun to investigate, before he knew the existence of Ziwei Star Domain. And Zhen Wuxuang, if not guessed, then the Lord of Star Luo should have returned to the purple star field, and that cold as snow, 80% is also on the purple star field. Cold as snow, after all, is a consciousness differentiated from cold as frost. Her existence, whether it is for Zhen Wuxuang or cold as frost, is a thorn. Of course, if you have a chance, you have to solve this matter. And now Zhen Wuxuang found that on his way to the Joyao starfield this time, he just passed the Ziwei starfield. Exactly, when I arrived at the Ziwei starfield, by the way dominate Xingluo, and the coldness like snow was also solved. Zhen's eyes showed a faint coldness. Soon after, Zhen Wuxuang set down the banquet and invited many of his relatives and friends in Taichu Divine Realm. At the banquet, Zhen Wuxuang also explained his upcoming departure from Taichu Divine Realm. In this regard, these relatives and friends of Zhen Wuxuang have also been psychologically prepared and can accept it. After the feast was over, Zhen Wuxuang explained Zhen Xian'er and Zhen Qing a few words, and then set off with Lung Rushuang. The 24th volume of The Beginning of the End of the Lord. The 25th volume, The Universe chapter, will open tomorrow. Everyone will wait and see. Chapter 3996. The first is more. Fan Zhen Wuxuang said goodbye to his relatives and friends, and immediately left the incarnation of consciousness with Lung Rushuang at the same time, and then they left the early world together. He left the divine realm in the early days, but the two of them did not leave this star field directly to go to the universe, but went to the three battlefields. First they went to the Red Cloud realm to say goodbye to that misty man, and then they went to the special time and space of Moyangu. In that special time and space, Zhen Wuxuang saw the wind demon again. After learning that Zhen Wuxuang had swallowed the psychic Baodan, and already knew that he had deliberately lied to him before, Feng Mo was quite embarrassed. I knew that Zhen Wuxuang was about to go to the universe, and the wind demon only sent the words Zhen Wuxuang. Be careful. I bid farewell to the wind demon, sword Wuxuang and cold as frost, then really started to leave. At the extreme edge of this star field, in the vast universe, there is no darkness and no light can be seen. A huge cosmic boat hurried through the void of this universe. This cosmic boat was obtained from the Lord of the Nebula, but it is an incomparably complete cosmic boat, which travels through the void of the universe, much faster than the master-level practitioners. In the cosmic boat, Zhen Wuxuang sat side by side with cold as frost, and a guard stood behind them. This guard is the magic flame. At first, in order to kill the Lord of the Demon Stars, the demon flames used the strongest killing trick at any cost. The 20% gold-swallowing body that finally condensed collapsed again. However, after the sword devil slayed and killed the star demon ancestor, he also got the demon star. A treasure of the Lord. After that he went to the Jodi Pavilion to exchange a lot of treasures and repair the body for the magic flame again. I want to know that the last time Zhen Wuxuang went to Jodi Pavilion to exchange special spar. The reason why it was extremely expensive was because Zhen Wuxuang wanted Jodi Pavilion to be delivered within 500 years. But this time it doesn't need to be so anxious, so the price must be a lot on the ground. In these years, The magic flame once again relied on devouring special crystals to restore the body. Until now, it has also restored 20% of the body. It will take some time. The most important thing is that Jian Wushuang's current net worth cannot support the magic flame to recover to 30% of the body. However, even if it is only 20% of the deities, the magic flame only returns to the 3rd level to dominate the peak, but its combat power is undoubtedly the 4th level. This time to travel to the universe, Jian Wushuang except with himself beside his wife, there was a demon flame around him. Frost, you are about to leave this star field. Can you be ready to smash the universe with me? Jian Wushuang glanced at his wife. Of course. Cold as Frost smiled and nodded. Okay, let's go. Wu Jianshou laughed loudly, and immediately under his guidance, the cosmic boat broke out in a horrible speed, instantly passed through the cosmic void ahead, and left the range of the star field, heading for a more vast cosmic void. From this day, Jian Wushuang and Cold as Frost also really began the wandering journey of the universe. Wandering in the cosmic void, the hardest part is boring. Fortunately, Jian Wushuang didn't have to rely on his own strength to rush on the road and took the cosmic boat directly, and his wife was always with him on the cosmic boat. But in the vast universe, most practitioners have just left their hometown to drift in the cosmic void, but that is the boundless darkness. This wandering is generally tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years. Even some practitioners wandering in the universe for tens of thousands of years can't meet other practitioners. These lonely and boring days are the real hardships. In a blink of an eye, the sword unparalleled has driven the cosmic boat, and it has been shuttled in the cosmic void for 3,000 years. Inside the universe boat. Fortunately, we didn't let Qing'er and Xian'er follow them together. Otherwise, with their temperament, they have been wandering in the universe like this for an entire millennium. I'm afraid they can't stand it anymore. Leng Rushuang laughed. Although they have been born for almost 40,000 years, they have not experienced as much as we have, and since they were born, it has been smooth sailing. We have always been by their side during the week. Now, if they were allowed to wander in the void of this universe, hey. Jian Wushuang also shook his head. These 3,000 years that he and Leng Rushuang drifted in the cosmic void, they are accompanied by each other, but they are not alone, nor do they feel tormented. Master, according to the guidelines on the star map, we are about to reach Ziwei Xinghe, Moyan said suddenly. Ziwei Xinghe. Jian Wushuang looked. The Xinghe River appears only in the dark and void of the universe. Generally, the Xinghe River is extremely vast and huge, connecting different star fields around it. Jian Wushuang had seen the star map in detail long ago, and knew that they were going to the Jiuyao star field, and they definitely passed the Ziwei Star River. Although Ziwei Star River was connected to a large number of star fields, there was only one medium-sized star field. Lagastroemia Indica. Because of this date, this galaxy will be named Lagastroemia Indica. Before going to Jiuyao Starfield, we have to go to Ziwei Starfield first, and Ziwei Starfield is at the very end of Ziwei Xinghe. If we want to go there, we have to cross the Ziwei Xinghe completely www.mtl Novel. I am afraid that the process will take thousands of years. Jian Wushuangdao. The universe is too vast. Even if they are riding a spacecraft, they are already much faster than ordinary practitioners, but it still takes a lot of time to get on the road. For such 1,000 years, it is already relatively short. Yang Jian Wushuang was talking, but the spacecraft had already reached the edge of the vast Ziwei Xinghe. That's Xinghe. Wu Jian Wushuang is still sitting in the spaceship, but can see the vast and magnificent river in front through the spaceship. This galaxy is colorful and exudes a dazzling light. It is gorgeous and dazzling in the void of the universe. So beautiful. Cold as Frost couldn't help it. It is very beautiful, but there are many crises in Xinghe. Jian Wushuangdao. He carefully looked at the star map and some information given by Shenyun, and mentioned the danger in Xinghe above. In the vast universe, the endless universe of darkness and emptiness is actually extremely safe, because the darkness and emptiness of the entire universe is too large, and there is no light to see. Although many practitioners leave their hometown, they must be in the darkness of the universe. Drifting, But this kind of wandering is very difficult to meet other practitioners. Like Sword Wushuang, they drifted here from their hometown, relying on the cosmic boat to travel through the darkness of the universe for 3,000 years. Although they passed many star fields, they did not encounter the existence of a practitioner. But the universe galaxy is completely different. Chapter 3997. Second more. The cosmic galaxy is extremely dazzling, and it is eye-catching in the cosmic void. The most important thing is that the universe's galaxy is vast and boundless. It connects the constellations of stars. The practitioners who communicate with each other in these constellations almost have to pass through this galaxy. After all, although the practitioners can also rush to the dark space for other star domains, there is no light in the dark and void of the universe, and there is no material sign. The practitioners are roaming in the void of the universe, and it is easy to get lost, but it is different in the galaxy. I can say that Xinghe is an important link for communication in this constellation. Therefore, the number of practitioners who come and go is very large. And because there are too many practitioners coming and going, some of them are evil-minded people who have started plundering business. These people are called star thieves. Stinging in Xinghe, the star thief is like the Ziwei Star River in front of it, hiding a few star thieves, and even a large number of star thief forces, specializing in looting practitioners. There is a large number of practitioners around the vast Ziwei Xinghe River. Most of these practitioners are only the masters of the rules, and a few dominate them. They all stood outside Xinghe in pairs, forming a large gathering place for practitioners. Humming. Luan exudes an ancient atmosphere, and looks extremely towering. As soon as it appears on the edge of the Star River, it immediately attracts the attention of a large number of practitioners around it. Here, many people, in the spacecraft, Jian Wushuang sat side by side with cold as frost, watching a large number of practitioners outside the spacecraft. Before we drifted in the darkness of the universe for 3,000 years, we did not see a practitioner, but now here, there are so many people all at once, they should all drift here from their hometowns? Sighed. Should be. Jian Wushuang nodded. Under normal circumstances, as long as the ruler of the rule, there will be capital to survive in the darkness of the universe. There are many rulers in the universe. After reaching a certain level of strength, they will leave their hometown to go deeper in the universe, and some will come to the universe after becoming masters. These people, maybe there are not many 1 or 2 star fields, but countless star fields from the edge of the universe come together, there are more people. As the statue is now, there are nearly 10,000 practitioners gathered around this galaxy. Wu Jianshuang and Lung Rushuang were talking. All of a sudden, many practitioners gathered in the crowd towards the cosmic boat. They dare not stand in front of the spacecraft, but just come to the spacecraft. The mediation soon passed in. Could the adults in the spaceship take me for a ride, I would pay enough. And me. Master, take us for a ride. This way came into Jian Wushuang's ear with a voice of imploring. Jian Wushuang's brow frowned. Master, if I'm not mistaken, these people gathered at the edge of Xinghe. They should know that there are a lot of star thieves in Xinghe. They are afraid to go in alone, so they stay here, wait for more people to come, and then form teams go in again. Of course, if there is a strong person who also wants to enter Xinghe, they will try their best to tie it up. After all, if they are led by a real strong person, they will be easier to cross the Ziwei starfield. Magic Homura said. These people think of us as strong. Jian Wushuang frowned. Of course, you are the owner of the spaceship. You can have a complete spaceship in the universe. This has already fully demonstrated your identity. If you are the owner of the spaceship, you can travel directly into the galaxy, even if you encounter stars along the way. Pirates, most of those star pirates dare not come forward to disturb. Mo Yang said. The sword is unparalleled. He can also understand that the cosmic boat is very precious. Those who can have a complete cosmic boat in the universe are not weak enough. For example, this cosmic ship was originally owned by the Demon Star, and the Demon Star is a second-level astral master. Its strength has reached the 4th order level, and the 4th order dominator is at the edge of the universe, is already a top powerhouse. Such powerhouses have to cross the galaxy, under normal circumstances will not encounter any trouble. After all, the star island in the purple microstar domain is estimated that the strongest is only the third level. It is difficult to say whether there is a fourth level. Father, do we want to bring these people? Said coldly. Mom, I advise you not to. Jian Wushuang has not spoken yet, but the flames have already spoken. Why? Leng Rushuang looked at it. It's very simple, the universe is dangerous. Devil Flame said lowly, Madam, you and your master will be in the universe in the future, you must remember these 4 words, so that you can live longer, and in the universe, there is no kindness, there is compassion, and some unnecessary trouble, don't get into trouble. Magic Flame is right. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. Since these people have decided to leave their hometown to venture into the universe, they should already be sufficiently mentally prepared. This is their own choice and has nothing to do with me. Jian Wushuang has obviously experienced a lot, and has no pity for those begging practitioners outside the universe. Maybe if there was no such life and death crisis in the early world of God, he might come to the universe when the ruler of the rule, and his experience at that time will probably be glanced at with those practitioners. But what about that? This is their own choice, what does it have to do with themselves? Let's go straight into the Xinghe. Jian Wushuang waved his hand and had directly driven the cosmic boat towards the vast Xinghe. In front of it a large number of practitioners around the spacecraft. Seeing that the spacecraft only paused slightly, they continued to move forward, all anxiously. Master, take us for a ride. Master, show mercy. One practitioner is shouting, hoping that Jian Wushuang can stop the spacecraft and let them go up. Unfortunately, the spacecraft never stopped, and soon entered the galaxy. Seeing this, these practitioners are also helpless. Entering the Xinghe, the people on this spacecraft haven't been able to get us up, it's a pity. It's a pity that for such a complete cosmic boat, the man it controls must be a top powerhouse. Such a powerhouse is roaring in the galaxy. How can an ordinary star thief dare to provoke? You say, how powerful is the owner of this spacecraft? I don't know, but according to my estimation, at least it must be dominated by the 3rd grade, it may be dominated by the 4th grade, and it may even reach the 5th grade. Many practitioners outside of Xinghe are talking about it, but they did not complain about Jian Wushuang ignoring them and directly entering Xinghe. After all, they also know that the universe is dangerous, so the other party is the most correct choice. The universe chapter has begun, ask for all kinds of support, ask for everything. Chapter 3998. The first is more. The magnificent galaxy is beautiful. The ancient cosmic boat, shuttled in the galaxy, is still extremely fast. The shuttle between the galaxy is obviously different from the shuttle in the darkness of the universe. The number of practitioners in this galaxy is very large. They are driven all the way by Jian Wushuang and they can easily meet other practitioners. Also, these practitioners are almost a team of dozens or even hundreds of people. As for a single person, it is rarely seen. Jian Wushuang drove the spacecraft into the 2nd year of Ziwei Xinghe. Boom! The starry sky in Hanoi is shaking, and there is a faint wave of divine power transmitted from the void in front. Some people are fighting in front, and watching this wave of fighting, the number of people fighting is still quite large. Moyan said, Father, should we go around? Leng Rushuang asked. No need. Jian Wushuang shook his head, let's go straight. Wu Jianshou did not choose a detour, and there was no need to detour. Although there are many dangers in this galaxy, as well as the existence of a large number of star thieves, these star thieves can only threaten a large number of rulers and some weaker ones. Hiku reached the level of Jian Wushuang. He could almost walk sideways in this class of galaxies, not to mention that he was still riding a cosmic boat. This alone made most star thieves' gang dare not come to their trouble. The spacecraft continued to move forward, and soon came to the edge of the battlefield. Through the spacecraft, Jian Wushuang could see the scene of the battlefield ahead. This fierce battle is simply a one-sided fierce battle, which can even be called a slaughter. Because there are more than 200 practitioners on one side, of which there are more than a dozen masters alone, including 3 second-level masters. As for the other side, There are only less than 50 people, only 6 masters, and only 1 master in the second rank. The difference in strength is too big, leading to a team of more than 50 people, without any ability to resist, was swept directly. Only a moment from the battle to the present, this team has died most of the time, the rest are fleeing frantically. Kill them all. Haha, when we met us a star, even if we didn't ask for forgiveness, we didn't even want to pay for the toll, it was really a death. I thought that with the second-level dominator sitting in town, you can safely walk through Ziwei Xinghe? Really a joke. A gigantic laughter rang through the battlefield. Wu Jian Wushuang understood it immediately. The team of more than 200 people should be a star thief, but also from a star thief gang named One Star. As for the other team, apparently passing by, it was intercepted. Because it could not afford it, it was directly slaughtered by the star thief gang. Only a moment later, the slaughter was over. Only 2 or 3 of the 50-person team escaped, and the others died in the hands of a star stealing. This is the star thief. It's really cruel. Cold as frost frowned. It's normal, let alone the vast universe. Even in the early world of God, there are also a lot of bandits in all important places of trade and exchange. Those bandits are similar to these star theft methods. The difference is the star stealing strength. Stronger. Jian Wushuang is still extremely calm. He experienced too much in the early world of the gods and saw many, like those bandits, he also dealt with a lot, so this scene, he is already numb. Let's go, let's continue on our way. Jian Wushuang drove the cosmic boat and continued to move forward. On the battlefield just now, those star thieves are busy collecting loot. But at this moment, look there! An exclamation sounded suddenly. Many star thieves all looked up at the same time, and immediately saw an ancient and huge cosmic boat coming out. With this scene, these star thieves have changed their looks. Hurry up, get out of here, the leader of the star thief shouted. Suddenly, more than 200 bandits rushed towards the surrounding void, giving way to a wide road. The spacecraft passed unimpeded, passed directly through the center of the battlefield, and then disappeared into the sight of these star thieves. Seeing the cosmic boat disappearing, these star thieves were relieved. It's dangerous. The leader also sighed. Boss, the spaceship just now is obviously just passing by, and it doesn't mean to stop. We don't need to be so nervous, right? A star thief couldn't help asking. What do you know? The leader glared at the star thief. This is a complete cosmic boat. In the universe, if you can have such a complete cosmic boat, the strength is bound to be extraordinary. It is likely to be the first the masters of the 4th grade or above, or the kind of people with large backgrounds, no matter what kind, are not something we, a small Sing Island gang, can provoke. And we are lucky. The people on the spacecraft just didn't hit us. But we need to know that there are a lot of weird people in this universe. They behave weirdly. They all rely on their preferences and don't need any reason at all. If you encounter such a person, it's very likely that because we are standing in front of us, we will kill all of us directly. Or maybe it's the kind of little guy who just started to venture into the universe but has a big background. This kind of little guy is even more terrible. They have never experienced the cruelty of the world. They often show kindness and jealousy. They see us. These star thieves are killing passers-by practitioners. It is equally possible that they will kill us. Even if they can't kill themselves, they will instruct the surrounding guards to kill us. We have no chance to struggle. On weekdays, if we, Star Islands, encountered such a complete spacecraft in the Xinghe, we would have hid far away and would not dare to appear in front of the spacecraft, but this time it is just in the process of interception. It was not discovered in advance. If it was discovered in advance, I would have stopped you and let the road come. Is that so? I heard the leader's words, and the surrounding islands were secretly glad. And the fact is true. If Jian Wushuang intended, he could easily kill all of these star thieves, but as long as these star thieves didn't come to provoke him or block his way, he would be too lazy. The spacecraft continued to roam within the Ziwei Xinghe. They often saw star thefters plundering along the way, but just like the magic flame said, this spacecraft existed, and the star thieves passing by saw it. They will frighten away immediately. No star thief would dare to plunder. In this way, the cosmic boat has flown unobstructed in Ziwei Xinghe, and has exercised for 300 years. Chapter 3999. Second more. Xinghe Hanoi is still eye-catching and beautiful. It seems that the crazy killing in this galaxy just adds a little more color to this galaxy. The spacecraft is still moving forward, but at this moment in the void ahead, a killing is in progress. Star thief again. Cold as frost glanced indifferently, looking at the battlefield ahead. Pingxing Hanoi has been driving down for 300 years. It is similar to the scene in the front. They have encountered many times before. Every time I see star robbery plunder, it is usually those practitioners who suffer. Of course, some practitioners are indeed strong enough, or the strong ones are particularly powerful. Instead, star robbers suffer, but this is only a minority after all. And like sword Wushuang they ride in the spacecraft, no one dares to provoke it in Xinghe. Seeing the battlefield ahead, Jian Wushuang did not intend to ignore them, but at this moment. Fu Jun, look at that. Leng Rushuang suddenly spoke, pointing in one direction. Wu Jianshuang followed the guidelines and immediately saw a spot on the battlefield where two figures were being besieged by 6 and 7 star thieves. These two figures are the masters themselves, but now they are also the masters. Xiaoye, you are ready, I will fight to create a chance for you to escape, you must seize this opportunity. The stern man in a white robe holding a spear snarled, his eyes were scarlet one slice. No, brother Yun, let's go together. If you die, I won't live. Standing back to back with a cold man is a woman in red. The woman in red has a decided face without any desire the idea of escape alone. What stupid thing to say. The cold man scolded. The star thieves who besieged him also laughed when they heard the conversation between them. It is really a pair of life and death. Don't worry, you two will die together. We promise. Haha, kill them. Each of these star robbers has cold eyes, soaring into the sky, and the strength revealed is also extremely remarkable. Suddenly, the cold poly man broke out. Obviously, he was performing a special secret technique, and in a short time, his strength reached a new level. Fast, Satsuki, run away, the stern man shouted wildly. No, die together. The woman in red was absolutely incomparable. This scene was completely watched by the sword Wushuang on the cosmic boat. Jian Wushuang saw that the cold man and the woman in red should be a husband and wife, and they joined the universe together. Unfortunately they were intercepted by a star theft, although the cold man desperately wanted to create an escape for his wife opportunity, but his wife was unwilling to abandon him and leave. No surprise, the couple's final outcome should be killed here by these star thieves. Fu Jun, do you remember what you said to me when you were going to swallow the elixir and fight with the ancestor of the star devil? Leng Rushuang looked over. Of course I remember. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. At that time, he was holding a mortal heart and desperately wanted to do something with the star demon ancestors. To some extent, he wanted to fight with the star demon ancestors. At that time, he said to the cold, if the star demon ancestors were not dead, let her leave the early world. He answered coldly, saying that if he died, he would not live. Wu Jianwushuang remembered that the coldness at that time was also as determined as this woman in red. Fu Jun, this couple is very poor, let's save them. Leng Rushuang suddenly spoke. Wu Jianshou glanced at it as cold as frost, but nodded slightly. He knew that the coldness of frost moved the heart of Recluse, because she saw her original self from the woman in red. And Jian Wushuang did not refuse. Let's go. With an idea of Wu Jian Wushuang, the cosmic boat that had slowed down or even came to a halt instantly broke out at an amazing speed and shuttled the Xinghe River, and landed in front of the battlefield in a blink of an eye. Buzzing. The emergence of the huge spacecraft instantly frightened the powerful men who were fighting on both sides of the battlefield, especially those star thieves, who couldn't help stopping at this moment. Cosmic boat, stopped in the void around the couple. You two, come in. Jian Wushuang's voice came from the spacecraft. Are you talking about the two of us? The cruel, grim-looking man first frowned, but followed with ecstasy. Xiaoye, go, let's go up. The cold man took his wife and immediately swept towards the spacecraft. And a space channel appeared in the legal array on the spacecraft, allowing the two to enter the spacecraft. As for the star thieves, they all watched the scene, including the 6 masters who had besieged the couple before. Although they were anxious, they did not dare to come forward. A stout old man over 3 meters walked over. 13 leaders, what should I do? The 6 masters who besieged the husband and wife all began to ask. Spaceship. This elder old man was the leader of the Star Pirates robbery leader. His eyes were as big as Tong Ling, staring at the spacecraft in front of him. His face was extremely gloomy. Hesitating for a moment, the old man with great strength went straight to the cosmic boat. My Excellency in the cosmos, I am the 13th leader of the ancient star. Just the 2 of them are the prey of my ancient star, please also return them to us. Road. By saying this, many star thieves from the ancient Yuan Xing were shocked, and all of them immediately stunned. In the cosmic boat, Jian Wushuang passed through the cosmic boat and overlooked the magnificent old man. The master of a 2nd-level peak, dare to run over and let me make friends? Jian Wushuang also had a hint of surprise in his heart. Under normal circumstances, since they rescued the couple and took the cosmic boat, these star thieves should be aware and obediently give way, but the strong old man did not, but instead ran over to let them pass. Fun. Jian Wushuang smiled. He didn't know that although this strong old man knew that it was possible to have a cosmic boat in the universe, the ancient Yuan star in which this strong old man was located, even in the Ziwei Xinghe, was even the top 10 large stars. The robber gang is very powerful, with ancient Yuan Xing as the backer, and he also has a hint of confidence in his heart. The most important thing is that he was not willing to go to the meat of his mouth and was taken away by others. At this moment, Sword Wushuang opened his mouth. The 13 leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing, right? I don't care where you come from, anyway, just now that couple, I saved, and the acquaintances, just go away, and dare to say a word, you all, stay here. Jian Wushuang was too lazy to talk nonsense with these star thieves. Chapter 4000. The first is more. The 13 leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing, right? I don't care where you come from, anyway, just now that couple, I saved, and the acquaintances, just go away, and dare to say a word, you all, stay here. The chilling voice came out of the cosmic boat, with a sense of violentness. When the old man heard this, his face suddenly became extremely ugly. He stared at the cosmic boat in front of him, with a hint of anger hidden in his eyes, but no longer dared to attack. He could only hold back and retreated to the side. There is no way, after all, he is only a 2nd-level master. After facing the mysterious powerhouse who owns the cosmic boat, the only thing he can do is to move out of his ancient Yuan star and see if he can deter the other party. It turned out that the other party didn't care about the ancient Yuanxing at all. The opponent is extremely tough, but he has to make concessions. It's pretty familiar. Wu Jian sat on both ends of the spacecraft with a cold glance at the old man, and then the spacecraft continued to move forward, and soon disappeared from this battlefield. In the cosmic boat, the couple previously rescued by Jian Wushuang has appeared in front of Jian Wushuang. Thank you, Lord, for your salvation. The stern man took his wife to salute Xiong Jian Wushuang. He is very clear. If this mysterious strong man had shot before him, he and his wife must have died in the hands of the star thieves. The other party did save their lives, but he did not know why the other party saved them. Get up. Jian Wushuang waved his hand and asked, how long have your husband and wife been in the universe? Master, it has been more than 100,000 years. Of course, these 100,000 years have been spent in the dark void, and only recently came outside the Ziwei Xinghe. The cold man answered. More than 100,000 years. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. In fact, if he does not have a spacecraft, it will take tens of thousands of years, or even longer, to come from his hometown to the outside of the Weiwei star domain. Where are you going? Jian Wushuang asked again. We want to go to the wings of Mars, and one of my seniors is there. The cold man said, unfortunately, to go to the wings of Mars, we must pass through the Ziwei Star River, but there are countless stars stealing from Ziwei Star River, my husband and wife. They also knew the danger of Ziwei Xinghe, So they waited outside Xinghe until they joined a team that was not weak, and then entered the Ziwei Xinghe. They thought they could walk safely to the Wing Mars, but who ever thought? Qi Longjuan did not continue to say, but Zhen Wushuang already knew. The team where this couple is located is indeed not weak. They are dominated by dozens of people. In this Ziwei Xinghe, the general Xingdao group is not willing to provoke, but the ancient Yuan star they met this time is very obviously it was a huge Xingdao gang that dared to kill and plunder. The destination of my spacecraft is the Ziwei starfield, and I will pass by the Wing Mars field along the way. Your husband and wife can choose to stay on this spacecraft and wait for passing there before you leave. Jian Wushuangdao. Thank you, Master. The cold man and the woman in red were very happy. The team where the two of them have been killed has escaped. Although they are still alive, if they only rely on the strength of his couple, they have no ability to survive in this galaxy, and they will be easily stolen by the stars. Kill. But if I could take this spaceship, it would be totally different. This cold man is also the master. Although he has just left from his hometown, some elders of the division have been in the universe for a long time. He also knows something. He knows very well that he can own a cosmic boat. This alone, this person can almost walk sideways in the purple star field. He was able to follow such an adult to Wing Mars, and his husband and wife were of great joy. Not so polite, my husband and wife have just been out of their hometown for a long time, and they have been a bit boring along the way. Now that you two are on this boat, they can just be our partners. Cold as frost said. You guys are also husband and wife. The cold man and the woman in red seemed to understand why the owner of the spacecraft would save them. Zai Wushuang drove the cosmic boat, while continuing to roam in Xinghe. Somewhere in the Ziwei Xinghe River, a piece of land was quietly suspended. You must know that in the universe, there is no astral world and no land exists. The reason why a land appears here is because a strong practitioner has forcibly placed a land here. On this side of the land, there are also numerous dense palaces and lofts. Here is the old nest of the ancient Yuanxing. The ancient Yuan star, among the countless star-stealing gangs in the Ziwei star domain, is strong enough to rank in the top 10. A large group of figures, under the leadership of the 13 leaders, that is, the strong old man, returned to the ancient Yuanxing 13. Why did you hunt back so soon this time? A hearty laugh sounded, and a silver-haired robe met the middle-aged. There are 17 leaders on the ancient Yuanxing. The ranking is based on strength. Like the thirsty old man in the 13th rank, his combat power is at the top of the 2nd rank, but he is only in the 13th rank. One of Yuanxing's leaders ranked 10th, and it is clear that he is already a 3rd-ranked dominator. Don't mention it, obscure. The strong old man was a little impatient. Darkness. The middle-aged silver-haired robe couldn't help wondering, what's going on? During the hunt, did you encounter hard stubble? That's not it. The strong old man shook his head. Don't you know that in acting, before trying to work on a team, you will first find out the specific strength of the other party. If you have a certain grasp, you can do it again. This time is the same. Although the lineup I met was good, those people I could take out could be slaughtered cleanly, but the result was on the way, but something changed. What happened? What happened? The middle-aged silver robe asked. While we were slaughtering that team, a spacecraft approached us directly, and landed on the battlefield, taking away the 2 masters of that team, who were already our lips. Meet. The strong old man was a little unwilling. Spaceship. The silver-haired robe middle-aged was stunned, but followed in earnestly. 13, but 2 general masters, it is not a big deal, since there are strong men who own spacecraft to come forward and take them. Just take a step back. Chapter 4001. Second more. I know that the strong man who owns the spacecraft is not easy to mess with, but I still don't want to be close to the flesh of my mouth, so I flew, so I came forward to negotiate with the strong man in the spacecraft, and even moved out of my ancient Yuan Xinglai, but whoever thought that the other party didn't care about my ancient Yuan Xing directly, and even said that he wanted me to get away, and then said a word to kill us all. The strong old man clenched his hand, and said in a deep voice, no matter how it also grabbed the meat from our mouths, and it was so overbearing that I didn't put my ancient Yuan star in my eyes at all, which of course made me angry. I couldn't swallow in this tone. Naturally, I didn't have the mood to continue hunting. Is that so? The middle-aged silver-haired robe nodded slightly, but then smiled. Why, aren't you happy in your heart? Do you want to slay out the strong man in the cosmic boat and kill it? When the old and strong man was stagnant, he shook his head immediately. I'm not stupid. How dare you shoot directly? Even if you are angry, you can only hold it back. You know just fine. The middle-aged silver robe laughed. In the universe, someone who can have a cosmic boat can already explain his identity and strength. Such a person, unless we can absolutely figure out his true strength and means, otherwise we should not easily provoke it. I know, but this person has been hiding in the cosmic boat and has not shown up. The existence of a legal array on the cosmic boat has blocked my soul investigation and made me unable to find out his true strength, so I dare not act lightly. But the more so, the less I will be reconciled. If the other person is really a powerful person, showing up, or showing a little power or breath, it can really scare me, then I am scolded by him like this. Even if the person in the spacecraft is not a great powerhouse, he just poses in the spacecraft, then I will become a joke. Said the old man. In the universe, people who rely on cosmic crafts are not without them. Because everyone knows that they can own a spacecraft, it is unusual, and naturally, few people dare to provoke it. But the size of the universe means that there are weaker people, because by chance, they have obtained the spacecraft. Not to mention, in the purple star field alone, there have been several times when the other party took the spacecraft, but its own strength is very ordinary, and even a ruler once also took the spacecraft. Laroche, do you say that the person I met this time is really a strong one, or is it just a person who poses with the help of a cosmic boat? The old man asked. I don't know. The middle-aged silver robe shook his head and said, the cosmic boat is difficult to get. There is no doubt about this. Under normal circumstances, the person who owns the cosmic boat must be the real strong man or have some background. People, of course, there are some people with great luck. They are not strong but have the chance to get such a cosmic boat, but this is rarely the case. But after listening to what you just said, the other party is always from beginning to end. It's a little weird not to show up, not even showing the power or breath. Do you find it strange? Zhuang Shuo's eyes brightened. It's a bit, but I can't be sure. The middle-aged voice of the silver-haired robe was dull, but his eyes suddenly looked at the strong old man. 13. If you are really unhappy, you feel cramped and can't swallow this breath. You can try to test the spacecraft, but don't show up in person, just send someone to test one or two, or use other methods to find out the strength of the strong in the spacecraft. What level is it, and then you decide not to shoot. Ha ha. The old man with a big smile laughed immediately. I'll wait for you. It's true. I already had this plan, but I don't need people to test it. I just need to be quiet. Just wait and wait. I already knew that the couple rescued by the strongman in the spacecraft was going to the wings of Mars, and when the people under me used to fight this couple, they still used some special means can be used to sense the position of the couple. Unsurprisingly, this couple should have been on that cosmic boat. When they reach the wing Mars domain, they will come down from the universe. We just need to go to the wing Mars domain in advance and wait until the couple leave the universe. We immediately shot and grabbed the two of them, and then we can know the information of the strong man on the cosmic boat from the mouth of the couple. This is a good idea. The middle-aged in the silver robe could not help nodding. But after all, the couple were riding in a cosmic boat. The speed of the cosmic boat traveling through the cosmic void is not at all comparable to us. Whether we want to rush to the Martian field in advance or catch up with the cosmic boat in the future, I guess I have to use those cosmic channels in my ancient star. The old man frowned. Universe channel, the cost of creation is extremely huge. However, as the Ziwei Xinghe Hanoi can rank among the top 10 large star thieves, there are indeed several hidden cosmic channels in Ziwei Xinghe alone, but they are rarely used on weekdays unless there is a big deal. This cosmic passage is extremely expensive to use once. Although I am also a leader of GU Yuanxing, after all, the ranking is relatively low. If I want to use the cosmic passage, I have to agree with those few people. You have to help me talk about it, said the strong old man. Okay, wrap it on me, wait for the strength of the cosmic boat to be clear. If the other party is really pretending, I will go with you to clean up the person. If it is not enough, call Shong Lao 7 and 5. Silver-haired robe, middle-aged. Haha, thank you so much. The strong old man finally laughed. Ziwei Xinghe, the speed of the cosmic boat cannot naturally be as fast as that in the dark and empty universe, and because it often encounters the relationship of star theft, it will be affected more or less, but the speed is still very fast, at least it's faster than those who practice it. I do know how many times. Wu Jianshuang and Leng Rushuang have been staying in the spacecraft, along with the couple. The couple have only spent 40 years on the spacecraft, and they have reached the edge of the Milky Way near the wing Mars. 2 of you, good luck to you. The laughter of Wu Jianwushuang passed out from the spacecraft, and immediately the spacecraft accelerated and swept directly towards the galaxy in front. Suddenly the grim man, the woman in red, and the husband and wife were grateful and watched the spacecraft leave. After the spacecraft completely disappeared into their sight, the couple also set out to leave Xinghe and head to the wing Mars domain. However, they haven't been away long. A large number of star thieves suddenly appeared, blocking the couple's way. Remember mobile website URL, page 11, bookmark for easy reading. Chapter 4002. The first is more. The huge cosmic boat, with the purpose of the purple starfield, continued to travel in Xinghe. Qi Jianwushuang was on the spacecraft and spent a lot of time with his wife, but he never left in practice. In recent years, because of the refining of the heavenly will of the early gods, with the help of this heavenly will, whether he is aware of the rules or the laws of the universe, his speed is extremely fast, especially the laws of the universe, and he has made rapid progress. I was in the state of epiphany, and at the same time realized the rules of gold and the rules of darkness. Among them, the rules of gold have been perfectly integrated with other rules, so I broke through and became the master. This dark rule, although I understand, but I haven't been able to truly merge. I have learned a lot of the 7th and 8th rules in these years, but the dark rules have not been fully integrated, and I still feel a little worse. Jian Wushuang sat alone there, groaning secretly. The promotion of the dominance of the puppet is determined by the rules of fusion. He previously fused the 5 rules. In the realm, he can only be regarded as the second-level master. Although he understands the 6th rule, even the 7th and even the 8th rules, he has learned a lot, but as long as he does not merge, that's still just the 2nd level. In recent years, Jian Wushuang has also tried to fuse the dark rules, and has found a way to fuse, but the distance is still a gap, but still a layer of window paper. Wu Jianwushuang himself estimates that this layer of window paper may be broken at any time. At that time, his 6 major rules will be merged, which is dominated by the 3rd level, and the overall strength will also skyrocket. Under normal circumstances, the more the rules are fused, the more difficult it is to integrate. Most of the masters in the universe need to stay at one level for a very long time before they can reach the next level, but for me, there are in the beginning, the help of the heavenly will of the kingdom of heaven helped me to integrate the rules, which is much easier than the others. Jian Wushuang chuckled. Don't look at him doing nothing in recent years, but in the invisible, he got the early world of the kingdom a lot of benefits, and the overall strength has been increasing rapidly. Suddenly, Jian Wushuang looked up. He is in control of this cosmic boat, but the power of his soul has been pervasive. Because the breakthrough has become the master, his soul has also been transformed. Now the scope of soul power's investigation is extremely wide. He can now sense that a large area of strong breath ahead is rushing towards the cosmic boat. Looking at this posture, it seems to be star thieves. These star thieves came to me. No. The sword has no strange double-sided color. Under his induction, the star thieves were closer to the spacecraft, but they still did not stop, but continued to swipe straight towards the spacecraft. Did you really come to us? In the cosmic boat, Jian Wushuang has gathered with his frost and magic flame, and the 3 of them are quite strange at the moment. Under normal circumstances, there is no such thing as star thieves who don't open their eyes to look for spaceships, but these star thieves, Moyen frowned. Heh. Jian Wushuang noticed that there was a lot of familiarity among the star thieves, among them the 13 leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing, that is, the existence of the strong old man. It seems that we saved such a couple last time and caused some trouble. These star thieves are from the ancient Yuan Xing. Jian Wushuang smiled slightly. The spacecraft has stopped in the galaxy. And those star thieves have come to the front of the spacecraft, and I saw a large number of star thieves gathered there. At a glance, there were no less than 200 people, and among these star thieves, the master occupied almost half, although the most are only dominated by the first rank, but the second rank dominates still more than 20, and even the third rank dominates, there are as many as 3. The 3 third-level dominators are obviously headed by this. In addition, the strong old man also stood with them. This is the spacecraft. The strong old man stared coldly, staring at the spacecraft that had stopped in front of him. Well, this cosmic boat is not small, and the value is probably not low, so I didn't have to wait for me to ride here on the cosmic passage. Among the 3 third-level masters, a black warframe man smiled evilly. Road. Don't be too happy, wait until the people in the spacecraft are killed. The silver-haired robe middle-aged said. Many star thieves from the ancient Yuan star, at this moment are staring closely at the spacecraft in front of them, with a trace of hotness in their eyes. In the cosmic boat, Jian Wushuang did not appear in a hurry, but said coldly, "Dare to block my way, are you impatient?" Boy, don't pretend to be ostentatious, I have already figured out that there are 3 people in your spacecraft, 2 of them are only the second level to dominate the level, and 1 guard may be stronger, but it is estimated that the third level dominates the combat power. In this strength, dare to say that we are impatient to live? The old man with a strong hum hummed. Oh! Jian Wushuang frowned. Since entering the Ziwei Xinghe, he has never shown his face to the outside, nor has he shown his breath of divine power. You have to know that there are legal arrays on the spacecraft. Generally, the exploration of the soul of the strong is blocked. What level of strength comes? But Ku Zhuang, the old man, knows it, and also tells their truth and accuracy. It's the couple. The sword did not sink. The couple betrayed us. Leng Rushuang frowned. Should be, but there is no hidden feeling, then it is difficult to say. Jian Wushuang shook his head and followed the figure, but walked directly out of the cosmic boat. The demon flame originally wanted to go up, but was ordered to stay in the cosmic boat by Jian Wushuang. The cosmic boat door opened, and Jian Wushuang slowly walked out of the cabin and appeared in front of the star thieves. These star thieves immediately fixed their eyes on Jian Wushuang's body. Jian Wushuang originally only integrated the 5 rules, and was dominated by the second grade. The oppression brought by the people was also dominated by the second grade. At the moment when the leaders saw Jian Wushuang, they immediately saw Jian Wushuang's realm. The couple didn't lie. The owner of this spacecraft is indeed the second-level master. The big old man's eyes brightened and his face became a little stunned. The 3 third-level masters next to also laughed. Under normal circumstances, they would not dare to trouble the strongest on the spacecraft, but when they learned that there were only 3 people on the spacecraft, and they were dominated by 2 second-order series, and one suspected of having a third series when they dominated the combat guards, they couldn't help it. Chapter 4003. Hey, the second is here. Boy, are you the owner of this cosmic boat? The old man with a stern face stared at Jian Wushuang. I am. Jian Wushuang nodded. What about the couple? Dead, the strong old man said directly. Dead. Jian Wushuang frowned. Well, the couple didn't know at all. When I was fighting with my men before, my men left a special mark on them. As soon as they left the spacecraft, they were immediately caught by us. I forced them to tell the information of the strong man on the cosmic boat. At the beginning, they were very hard-mouthed, but you also know that they are husband and wife after all, and they are also very loving. I just want to hold them against each other. Compromise, and after knowing your information from their mouth, they are useless, naturally killing. Zhuangshuo old man sneered. Qi Jian Wushuang was silent, and his heart was also secretly shaking his head. He didn't blame the couple. After all, even if he changed himself, If he knew that his life was cold, he would probably compromise. However, the star steel of this ancient star is not weak. Not only can he kill the couple so quickly, but he can also catch up with his cosmic boat. It seems that there are some hidden cosmic channels in this star river. And there must be several such cosmic channels in the hands of the ancient Yuanxing boy. You think you are lucky and you do know where to get a cosmic boat. You can run wild in this galaxy. Today I want you to taste the consequences of pretending to be in front of me. Old 10, old 7, the fifth child, I leave it to you. The strong old man said. The 3 third-level masters glanced at Jian Wushuang. Just dominated by the second grade. Such waste is not eligible for me to shoot. Old 10, you shot him and kill him. Laro Wu said. I'm a bit interested in the guard next to him. I'll leave his guard to me later. Laro Chi said. None of you shot, then I'll do it. The middle-aged and 10-year-old in the silver-haired robe smiled, and was ready to shoot. There is no need to be so troublesome. Jian Wushuang's voice suddenly sounded, this voice with a trace of cold, and at the same time a black magic sword appeared in his hand. As soon as this black Excalibur appeared, it immediately spread out with a domineering breath. This is. These star thieves from the ancient Yuan star immediately showed shock. The rule is precious. It turns out to be the rule of treasure. The 4 leaders of the ancient Yuanxing all showed ecstasy, and the eyes of the oldest 5 and the oldest 7 who were just not interested in Jian Wushuang were not yet interested. Wu Ku didn't wait for them to take action, but Jian Wushuang had already shot it. Howl. Wu Sword Wushuang does not need any gimmicky action at all, it is simply waving the Wu Cry Excalibur in his hand. A simple wave, an understatement, and there is no breath of breathtaking power. It's weird. The sword Wushuang only waved that sword, but at this moment in front of the ancient Yuan star and more than 200 people, there was a dazzling sword light at the same time. There were more than 200 star thieves, and a sword light appeared in front of them. This sword light seems to be the focal point of the universe, completely attracting the attention of these star thieves. Each of these 200 star thieves had their eyes widened. Including those leaders, even the 3 third-level masters, at this moment they are staring with wide eyes and full of fear. They stared at the Zhenguang appearing in front of them, trying to resist, but found in horror that their shape could not move at all. No, it's not that they can't move, but they move like snails. I was too slow, to the extreme. Of course, in fact, it is not that they are too slow, but that the sword is too fast, and they have no chance to resist. Laugh. 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 The sound of the swords entering the body almost sounded at the same time. These star stealers also wore body armors. Most of these body armors were top-level, peak and treasure levels, but a few were wearing the strongest treasures. However, at the moment, these armors are all cut away from them. What peak level, the strongest level of the treasure battle armor, in front of Wu weapon sword, are no different from paper. It was only momentarily that more than 200 star thieves, including nearly half of the masters, including the 3 third-level masters, their sights were dimmed. Their bodies also fell relentlessly, wandering in the galaxy. The entire universe, the galaxy, is completely silent at this moment, extremely dead. More than 200 star thieves from the ancient Yuan star, all of a sudden, have disappeared. Of course, one of these star thieves survived. The person who survived was the 13 leaders, that is, the strong old man, who had just wielded his sword, and Jian Guang appeared in front of all the star thieves at the same time, but there was no Jian Guang in front of this strong old man. Wu Jianshou deliberately left a glance at this strong old man. Alas, although this strong old man is still alive, at this moment, he has been completely frightened. At that moment, the sword was still in his mind, and it didn't dissipate for a long time. Suddenly, his eyes were staring at the young man holding the Excalibur in front of him, and his eyes had already become shocking. Just now, he was extremely confident, but he was a master of the second series. He could not make any big waves in his hands after killing this person. The cosmic boat will be his. But whoever thought that in just an instant, in a blink of an eye, the 3 third-order masters he invited, as well as the many ancient Yuanxing strong men he brought with him, died clean, leaving only he is still alive. After slaying the strong men of ancient Yuanxing, Zhen Wushuang took back Wu Crying Sword. With a wave of his hand, all the treasures left by the strong men of ancient Yuan Xing were collected into the ring, but immediately returned to the spacecraft. I watched Zhen Wushuang enter the cosmic boat, but the strong old man didn't dare to move, for he was afraid that he would kill him directly. At this time, "You also come in." Zhen Wushuang's voice came out from the spacecraft. The sturdy old man shivered and his heart was full of bitterness. At this moment, he really wanted to escape desperately, but he knew very well that since the other party had not directly killed him, he must have a special intention. If he chose to flee at this time, I'm afraid he would be killed immediately. He didn't think he could escape in the other's hands. There was no way, although the strong old man had 10,000 reluctance in his heart, he had to follow Zhen Wushuang into the cosmic boat honestly. Mobile website reading URL. Chapter 4004. The first is here. Inside the universe boat. Master, your strength has improved a lot more than before. Mo Yang looked at Zhen Wushuang and smiled. Okay. Zhen Wushuang just smiled slightly. The strong old man who came in with Zhen Wushuang, but he smirked. With a single sword, more than 200 strong men were killed by Jiyu Yuanxing, including 3 third-level masters. What a terrifying strength. But this person just said it was okay? He didn't know that since the end of the war with Demon Star, Zhen Wushuang's progress in the tens of thousands of years in the early days of the heavenly will of the heavens, Zhen Wushuang's progress has been extremely amazing. Now he is much stronger than when he first broke through the Dominator and killed the Star Demon ancestors. I want to know that the ancestors of the Star Demon at that time were already extremely terrifying in the 4th-level master, but Zhen Wushuang can kill him relatively easily. It was like that then, let alone now. The current sword is unparalleled, the master below the 4th grade, he is too lazy to look at it, even if the master of the 4th grade, then only those who are at the top of the rank are eligible to make him pay attention to 1 or 2. As for the star thieves of the ancient Yuan Xing, the strongest is the 3rd order to dominate, killing them, to Zhen Wushuang is no different from killing a group of ants. Zhen Wushuang has already sat down on the throne above, his gaze is overlooking the trembling old man below. How do you want to die? Master, forgive me, Master, forgive me. The strong old man knelt down in fear. Rao life. Zhen Wushuang's mouth was awkward. From the moment you brought the ancient Yuanxing Xingdao to the door, you were destined to die. No one could save you, let alone you killed me. That couple is even more terrible. The only thing you can ask for now is to die happily. The cold frost sitting between Wu and Sword Wushuang stared coldly at the strong old man. The reason why they rescued the couple at first was because the other side lived and died together in the crisis, which gave them a touch. Although they didn't have much friendship with that couple, they had the same thing on them. In the end, the couple was killed directly by the strong old man. Destined to die. Zhuangshuo old man looked pale, no trace of blood. Frankly, answer my question. I can make you die happily. Zhen Wushuang's voice was cold and asked, Your ancient star, there should be many cosmic passages in this star river, right? There are a few. The strong old man's expression has become a little dumbfounded, his heart is determined, at this moment he is only answering Zhen Wushuang's question subconsciously. Are there any direct access to the end of this galaxy, that is, the universe channel of the purple star field? Zhen Wushuang asked. This isn't true. The strong old man shook his head. The top bandit forces in the purple star field are not only one of my ancient Yuan stars. Each of the top bandit forces has their own territory. Although my ancient Yuan stars are powerful, the universe channel extends the range cannot cover the entire galaxy, and the farthest one can only reach the vicinity of the demon star field. Demon field? Zhen Wushuang looked. He has a complete star map of Ziwei Xinghe, which he also knows. This demon star field is also a star field that he will pass by during this trip, but he is still a long way from the demon star field. Even if you are on a cosmic boat, it will take 200 to 300 years to reach it. It is not bad to be able to directly lead to at least it can save me 200 or 300 years. Zhen Wushuang smiled. Master, do you plan to go to ancient Yuanxing and use their cosmic passage? Moyen looked over. Just borrow it. Jian Wushuang smiled. Besides, there was no resentment between Jiyu Yuanxing and me at first, but the leaders of this ancient Yuanxing actually brought people to kill me directly. There are many ancient Yuanxing. You have to give me some explanation, right? Demon Flames raised his eyebrows and already understood the meaning of Jian Wushuang. Not only must they explain to the master, but they have to pay a heavy price for this. Haha, let's talk about this at that time. Jian Wushuang smiled, and then continued to ask, how many leaders do you have in ancient Yuanxing? What are their specific strengths? Master, there must be 17 leaders in Jiyu Yuanxing, and the higher the ranking, the stronger the strength. Starting from the 10th leader, they are all dominated by the 3rd rank. As for the strongest, it is our boss of the ancient Yuanxing, a 4th level master. The strong old man answered truthfully. Oh! Jian Wushuang was slightly surprised. He didn't expect that the leader of a star thief in Ziwei Xinghe was actually the 4th-ranked master. You know, the 4th-order dominator, placed in a 2nd-order astral world, can become the master of this side of the astral world. There can be 17 leaders, and there are 4th-level dominators, and they can even create a cosmic channel. Although this cosmic channel only covers a part of the purple star field, it is quite enough. Such a star stealing forces, plundering and killing in Ziwei Xinghe for a long time, may have a lot of wealth. Jian Wushuang's mouth showed a cold smile, and then said coldly, take me to the nest of your ancient Yuanxing. The old man of Zhuangshiro was startled, faintly already guessing what Jian Wushuang wanted to do, but because of his life, the old man of Zhuangshiro didn't dare to refuse, and immediately began to lead the way. Immediately under the guidance of the strong and old man, the spacecraft immediately changed direction and drove towards the old nest of the ancient Yuanxing. Although this mighty old man originally intercepted the sword Wushuang from the old nest of ancient stars is a cosmic channel used directly, but that cosmic channel can only be used only once, or he begged for a long time, ancient Yuanxing's higher-ranking leaders agreed. Therefore, this strong old man cannot return to the ancient Yuan star directly through the cosmic channel, and can only rely on the cosmic boat to travel all the way. After traveling for more than 30 years, the cosmic boat arrived near the old nest of the ancient stars. Master, the old nest of the ancient Yuanxing is in front of it. Are you there? Jian Wu's eyes looked away. Sure enough, there was a floating landing ground in the void ahead, and there were many practitioners' breaths on the land. You, go in and tell me the purpose of the arrival of Jiyu Yuanxing. Jian Wushuangdao. What? What? Unwilling to go? Jian Wushuang glanced at the strong old man. Yes, of course. The strong old man was ecstatic. He had been staying in this spacecraft before, and there were special law arrays in the spacecraft. He was under great restraint and could not do secret communication. But now that he is outside the old nest of the ancient Yuanxing, the owner of the cosmic boat wants him to enter the ancient Yuanxing and personally report to the leaders of the ancient Yuanxing. Chapter 4005. Hey, the second is here. I must know that for more than 30 years on the spacecraft, the powerful old man was not afraid of it for a moment, because he knew that the owner of the spacecraft would kill himself sooner or later. But now, the other party went to let him enter the ancient Yuanxing. After he entered the ancient Yuanxing and saw the leaders of the ancient Yuanxing, the cosmic boatmaster may not have the opportunity to kill him. Master, I will immediately inform the leaders of Jiyu Yuanxing. Fearing that Jian Wushuang changed his mind, the strong old man immediately left the spacecraft and galloped away towards the ancient Yuanxing. Jian Wushuang watched this strong old man leave, but only smiled slightly. He is not worried about the trick of this strong old man. After all, in the face of absolute strength, any means of conspiracy is futile. Jian Wushuang continued to wait on the cosmic boat, but the strong old man had already entered the ancient Yuan star, and soon the ancient Yuan star became lively. 13. What is going on? After you went out with the oldest 5, the oldest 7, the oldest 10 of them last time, why did you suddenly lose track and not even a message? A dark-skinned evil man stood in front of the strong old man. This evil man is the second leader of the ancient Yuanxing. The specific situation will not be clear at 1:30. In short, the old 5, old 7, and old 10 are dead. All the people who went out for hunting with us all died. Only I survived and killed them. Man, it's outside now. The strong old man mumbled. What? The two chiefs were startled, and their faces became cold in vain. Out there. Did you bring him? Ignore this first, and quickly assemble everyone. The strong old man yelled. The two leaders frowned. Although he still had many questions, he knew that the powerful enemy had already come out, so he didn't dare to delay, and immediately began to assemble many powerful men from the ancient Yuan Xing. I saw a powerful breath rising, and the leaders of Jiu Yuanxing who stayed in the old nest quickly gathered together. A large number of figures gathered over the ancient Yuan star, and their eyes could clearly see the huge cosmic ship not far from the ancient Yuan star. Spaceship. The leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing were astonished. Under normal circumstances, their ancient stars did not dare to provoke the strong who own the spacecraft. But now, the other party has come to kill him. There are only 3 people on the cosmic boat. The strongest is the owner of the cosmic boat. He is a second-level master, but his real combat power is extremely terrible. Die in his hands, said the old man Shen Sheng. Right, boss. The old man looked around, and suddenly found that although the leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing had gathered almost, the strongest leader, that is, the real boss of the ancient Yuan Xing, never appeared. You also know that the boss has closed the door not long ago, and instructed us not to disturb him unless it is extremely important, said the 2 leaders. What's the matter today? The old man with anxiety looked anxiously. Hurry up, call the boss, only she can compete with this spaceship master. 13. You may be too ambitious for others. You just said that the strongest cosmic ship is only dominated by a second ranker, even if he can kill the old 5, old 7, and old 10. That's nothing. Where does the boss need to take his own shot? A ugly-looking young man with 2 pairs of wings behind him scorned. This young man is the 3rd leader of Jiu Yuanxing, and his combat power has reached the 3rd level peaked. What do you know? The strong old man was extremely anxious. Zun Ku didn't wait for him to narrate that in the universe boat, Zhen Wushuang had slowly come out. With the appearance of Zhen Wushuang, the leaders of Jiu Yuanxing immediately fixed their eyes on him. 13. This person is the master of the cosmic boat, you said? Indeed, look at the breath on your body, it is really only the 2nd-level master. A 2nd-level master dominates, it is necessary for you to. Is it terrifying? The 3rd leader still scorned. The strong old man was short of breath. And Zhen Wushuang still spoke, and his gaze was staring at the strong old man, the 13th leader. I wonder if you told the other leaders of Jiu Yuanxing the purpose of my trip. When I heard this, the leaders of Jiu Yuanxing looked at the strong old man one after another. 13. This person is brought by you. What is he going to do when he comes here? The 2nd leader Shen Sheng asked. His purpose. The old man with a strong face looked down, and said, he came to the ancient Yuan Xing. One was to borrow the cosmic passage of my ancient Yuan Xing to rush on the way. The other was because Laro Qi and Laro She intercepted him. He asked me Jiu Yuanxing to give him an account. What? The leaders of Jiu Yuanxing suddenly burst into anger. Killed the 3 leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing, even dare to come upright and ask me to explain? Bold. This person, I did not take my ancient Yuan Xing into my eyes. These leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing are all angry. He froze coldly, all staring at Zhen Wushuang, the 3rd leader, and a terrible killing appeared in his eyes. Why, didn't you tell them the purpose of my trip? Zhen Wushuang did not pay any attention to these leaders. I saw he was still chuckling. Well, I straight say, I have no injustice with Jiu Yuanxing, but you Jiu Yuanxing dared to send someone to rob me, and I really do not know whether to die or not. This matter, let the big leader of your ancient Yuan Xing come out and obey me, and be prepared to be good. Would you like the leader of the ancient Yuan Xing to come forward to make atonement in person? Have a great gift. The leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing were even more angry. Look for death. The 3rd leader didn't hold back, he just shot. He saw the 2 pairs of wings behind this 3rd leader, like an eagle above the sky, swooping down on his prey like a sword. Stop, come back soon. I saw the third leader suddenly shot, and the strong old man was anxious. He has personally seen that the owner of this spacecraft has revealed his strength. Although the strength of this third leader is not weak, and the proper third-order peak of combat power, it is definitely not enough in front of this spacecraft owner. The entire ancient Yuanxing, and only their big leader, may contend with this spaceship master. But the third leader didn't take his words to heart at all. His speed increased instead, and a powerful burst of killing burst out from him. Chapter 4006. The first is here. Whatever, it's just a second-level dominator, but where can it go? The third leader thought so. It is true that he knows that the owner of the spacecraft killed the Old 5, Old 7, and Old 10, but these three people are only the third level to dominate the combat power, and he can kill the same. I naturally didn't take Jian Wushuang very seriously. He didn't know one thing. Jian Wushuang did not kill the three leaders one by one, but killed them all with a single sword, and took more than 200 powerful men with Jiu Yuanxing. If this third leader knows this, I'm afraid he won't dare to take such a shot. But now that he's already shot, he can't back off. Wu Jian Wushuang glanced at the third leader. He didn't even bother to use Wu Cry Excalibur, just raised his hand, and a sudden surge of sword surged up. Howl! Wow! 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 I saw countless sword shadows forming out of thin air. These sword shadows rushed together, and in the blink of an eye formed a huge sword net, directly covering the third leader. The third leader did not hold the sword net in his heart until the moment the sword net appeared in front of him and covered him. What? The third leader only felt that everything around him was blocked, and the countless sword shadows in the sword net madly attacked him. He exerted all-out resistance, but those sword shadows were all ridiculously strong, which could seriously hurt him. So many sword shadows came to kill at the same time. Laugh. Laugh. This third leader's body was smashed by the sword shadow smashing, and the vitality was cut off instantly. Before he died, he did not know that he clearly had the combat power of the third-level master, but why was there no room for struggle in the presence of a second-level master, and he was instantly killed. Horrified. Many leaders in the ancient Yuan star were shocked to see this scene in front of them. How can it be? The third child has the third level of peak combat power, but even was killed instantly. Is this really just the second series master? The heads of these ancient Yuan stars are incredible. Only the strong old man said Shen. I said, the entire ancient Yuanxing, only the big leader can fight against him. The owner of this cosmic boat, although on the surface is only a second-level master however, his combat power is extremely high. Before that, he killed the Old 5, Old 7, and Old 10, including my ancient Yuanxing, more than 200 strong men, with just one sword. So many people died. Only I survived. This strength is definitely the fourth level, and even stronger. One sword. The leaders of these ancient Yuan stars are a little dreadful. They thought that the owner of the spacecraft killed the 5th, 7th, and 10th after a great battle, but did not expect this to be the case. Quick, call the boss. Come on, please, the big boss. No one except my ancient Yuanxing can compete with this spaceship master. The entire ancient Yuanxing was frightened. The leaders of the ancient Yuanxing felt an unprecedented pressure. This pressure came from the void ahead. The young man who seemed to be only dominated by the second grade. Suddenly, when the entire ancient Yuan star was in a state of panic, a domineering breath rose suddenly inside the ancient Yuan star. The ancient leader of the ancient Yuanxing, out of customs. Buzz. A white robe, over 5 meters tall, with fair-skinned and snow-white skin, was extremely beautiful and holy, and appeared in front of the leaders of the ancient Yuan stars. Big boss. Big boss. When I saw you, many of Jiu Yuanxing's strong respects saluted, including those leaders, as well. The 5-meter-high holy woman is the leader of the ancient Yuanxing. Although there are so many leaders in the ancient stars, in fact some lower-ranking leaders do not have much voice in the ancient stars, and they are often changed. Even if it is the second or third leader, sometimes change the ranking. However, only this big leader, from the founding of the ancient Yuanxing, until now, has been replaced for a long time. This big leader is the real leader of Jiu Yuanxing, and her strength naturally surpasses other leaders. No doubt, she is a master of the 4th series, and it has been a long time to reach the 4th series. The combat power is very strong among the 4th series. This big leader is also the real reliance that ancient Yuan Xing can rank among the top 10 among the stars of Ziwei Xinghe. The 25-meter-high holy woman, with a cold face and no emotion, did not care about the leaders around her, but instead looked straight at Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang stood there quietly, and behind it was a huge cosmic boat. Although the breath emanating from Jian Wushuang's body was only the 2nd level to dominate the hierarchy, somehow, the holy woman felt one from the other. The stock is extremely stressful. Sir, you have killed 4 leaders of my ancient Yuanxing. Have you enough? The holy woman stared at Jian Wushuang. She came out after receiving a rumor from the 2nd leader, and at the same time when he went out, he also learned from the 2nd leader's mouth and naturally knew that Jian Wushuang killed the 4. Things about the leader. The holy woman was known to have killed the 3 chiefs, including Sword Wushuang and 1 sword. Anyway, the 3rd leader also has the 3rd level peak combat power, but the opponent did not even take out the magic soldiers, just to kill them with just a wave. This strength, this holy woman naturally also don't dare to have a small bite. She knows that the opponent and even a true strongman are not weaker than her, and may even be stronger, so even though Jian Wushuang has killed the 4 leaders of Jiyu Yuanxing, this holy woman has nothing to want Xing Shimin's sin. Conversely, if the other party is willing to retreat now, she is very willing to accept it. I did not expect that the leader of Jiyu Yuanxing turned out to be a woman. Jian Wushuang was surprised to see the holy woman who suddenly appeared, but followed with a smile. I came here for a long time to let your the 13th leader told you that I need you to give me a satisfactory account, and I need to borrow your cosmic passage of the ancient star. The holy woman Liu Mai frowned slightly. Borrowing the cosmic channel is not a problem, but Jian Wushuang has to explain. The 4 ancient leaders have already died, and they will have to explain to each other. If it is passed out, I am afraid it will become a big joke of Ziwei Xinghe already. Chapter 4007. Hey, the 2nd is here. You do think you are too much. The 5-meter-high holy woman made a cold voice, echoing in the void of the universe. Excessive. Oh, the people of your ancient Yuanxing knew that I was riding a cosmic boat and dared to come and plunder me directly, then they should have thought of this consequence. Jian Wushuang smiled sneer, not to mention, as long as you give me a satisfactory account, and you don't take the direct action to destroy your ancient star, it is very polite. That is the case, then I, as the big leader, seems to have to take the initiative to teach your means. The holy woman's eyes were cold, and a blue sword appeared in her hand. This holy woman is obviously also a kendo practitioner. However, although she is the 4th level master and the chief of the ancient Yuanxing, there is no rule treasure in her hands. The magic sword she now takes out is just the strongest magic sword. Seeing this holy woman take out the Excalibur, Jian Wushuang still looked at it with a smile. I'd like to see, why did you dare to tell me the ancient Yuanxing? The holy woman gave a low drink, and the holy breath on her body suddenly skyrocketed. Humming. I saw the bright holy light rising. The entire universe is dyed white by this holy light, and this holy woman is like a goddess falling from the sky, but this goddess is holding a long sword, and her eyes are full of amazing radon, which is a goddess of war. The holy woman's body suddenly became bigger. It was only 5 meters high, but suddenly it rose to tens of feet in a blink of an eye. The magic sword in her hand was also infinitely enlarged. Then she saw her jade hand wave. Howl. The mighty and mighty, a holy and extremely shocking Zhenguang, suddenly cut off. This sword light seems to split the surrounding galaxy directly, and the power is outrageous. Yes, this sword alone is the 4th level combat power. It is definitely not the ordinary 4th level elementary combat power, but it has reached a high level, and it should be considered very strong even among the 4th level advanced masters. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded secretly. This holy woman was able to create a star island power like Jiyu Yuanxing in one hand, and she has long been vertical and horizontal in Ziwei Xinghe, and her strength is truly extraordinary. However, the strength of this holy woman is much weaker than the demon star master who killed the world in the early days. After all, although the Lord of the Clouds has just broken through to the 4th level, he has the rule of treasure, and he also realizes a bit of the law of the universe, and the power of combat is about to reach the peak of the 4th level. However, even the Demon Star Master in the peak period can easily kill after Jian Wushuang broke through and became the master, not to mention that he now controls the heavenly will of the early gods, and with the help of the heavenly will, he practiced for tens of thousands of years. Strength has already reached a whole new level. Take me a sword too. Wu Jian Wushuang also directly took out the Wu weapon sword, but then it was a simple wave. With this sword, he cast it very casually, and did not even use the laws of the universe, just using his own understanding of the origin of the Kendo universe, and the new will power given by the laws of the universe. You know, although Jian Wushuang is only dominated by the 2nd series, but because of the perfect life relationship, his divine power is not weaker than that of the 3rd series, plus the share given by the law of the universe is soaring tenfold. The power of willpower, which makes him purely in power, is not weaker than the ordinary 4th level master. In other words, in divine power, he is the same as this holy woman, except for swordsmanship and the perception of the origin of Kendo universe. Woohoo! A random sword, Zhengguang is not dazzling, but at the moment when Zhengguang pulled out, a suffocating killing breath rose from the sky. In the eyes of the holy woman, the sword that swordsman Wushuang cast at will seems to represent the complete Kendo. The rich origin of the Kendo universe flooded the entire world, making the entire void of the universe seem to be tangled into a huge Kendo ocean. Even the sword that she cast herself was greatly affected at this moment. How is that possible? The holy woman showed shock. The opponent's attack clearly hadn't collided with her, but she still felt that her swordsmanship was collapsing and it had begun to disintegrate. This is purely influenced by swordsmanship and collapses. Boom! The sword light that Wu Zhenshuang wields out finally swept away. In just a moment, it was a smashing and violent sword light that crushed the holy woman. The holy light around you also dimmed. The holy woman's body returned to 5 meters in height, and her figure burst into the back with great embarrassment, and finally got back to her feet. And the eyes of this holy woman are already in shock. So terrible sword. It is clear that the power of the sword is almost the same. His sword is not a terrifying sword skill, but the sword meaning is unbelievable. The sword meaning directly affects my sword skills. His understanding of Kendo is simply incredibly. The understanding of the origin of Kendo universe is far more than me, and even more than all the Kendo strong men I have met before. It is terrible. The holy woman stared at Jian Wushuang in horror. Also a strong person who is good at Kendo, this holy woman has just played against Jian Wushuang. From the sword cast by Jian Wushuang, she has already seen the completely insurmountable gap between her and the opponent in understanding Kendo. www.mtl Novel. According to her estimation, although the owner of this spacecraft is only a 2nd level master, but in the understanding of Kendo, it far exceeds the 4th level master. I am afraid that even in the 5th level among the masters, I am afraid that few people can find him comparable to him. The other party's understanding of the origin of Kendo is too high. Sir, this time, it is all my ancient Yuanxing's past. My ancient Yuanxing is willing to give you an explanation, and is willing to pay the price to calm your anger. The holy woman said quickly. When she said this, Jiu Yuanxing was suddenly shocked and upset. But everyone was relieved. Jiu Yuanxing's strong man is not a fool, they just saw that scene. It is clear that their big leader is not an opponent of the other, even the opponent is much stronger than their big leader, basically 2 different levels. Such powerful people are not what they can provoke. Therefore, at this time, they don't care about their faces anymore, but must try their best to calm the anger of each other. Otherwise, the other party's own strength can directly sweep them away. Chapter 4008. The first is here. It was so long ago, there was no need to be so troublesome. Jian Wushuang smiled lightly and took back Wu Chong's Excalibur. The holy woman had a bitter heart. Although she knew that Jian Wushuang dared to come directly to explain to her, she must not be weak, but she did not expect that Jian Wushuang's strength would be so outrageous that she was obviously dominated by a 2nd level player. A shot made her the 4th-level dominator helpless. I didn't know the true strength of Jian Wushuang before. Naturally, she didn't want to simply bow her head, but now that she knows the strength of the opponent, of course, she only has to compromise. Sir, I don't know what I am going to do to ensure your satisfaction. The holy woman asked directly. It's very simple. Take out 100 cosmic source stones as a gift, and this matter is over. Jian Wushuang said directly. 100 universe source stones? The holy woman stared. Many leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing also showed horror. Why, your ancient Yuan Xing has been in this Ziweixing Hanoi for so many years. I do nt know how many strong people were plundered on the way. I should have accumulated a lot of wealth over the years. Are there 100 ancient source rocks of the universe? Can't take it out. Jian Wushuang said indifferently. The face of the holy woman was a little ugly. 100 cosmic source rocks, which has exceeded most of the 4th series dominated all net worth. Even if some poor 5th series dominated, all net worth is estimated to be only about 100 cosmic source rocks. The ancient Yuan star, although it is a star-stealing force, and has existed in Ziwei Xinghe for so many years, has indeed accumulated a lot of wealth, but all these wealth add up. It is estimated that there are only a little more than 100 universe source rocks. Now that the sword is unfolding, it will take 100 cosmic source stones. Even if the ancient Yuan star can get it, it will hurt his bones. 100 source stones of the universe, no problem. The holy woman suddenly spoke, and her gaze was a little firm. This holy woman was able to create the ancient Yuanxing in one hand. Not only is she very powerful, but most importantly, she is not only small. She has 100 cosmic source stones. For the entire ancient Yuanxing, it really needs to hurt the muscles and bones, but it's the kind you can't afford. This holy woman pondered in her heart, knowing that there are 100 source rocks in the universe, and she bears the anger of the owner of the space boat in front of her. I also need to borrow the cosmic passage of your ancient star. Jian Wushuang opened his mouth again. This is not even a problem. The holy woman readily agreed. Well, do these two things well. Before you Jiu Yuanxing offended me, I will not pursue it, but those who offend me will have to die. Jian Wushuang said coldly. No problem. The holy woman nodded again, but her eyes were directed at the ancient Yuanxing strong. The strong old man looked at it. The other leaders of the ancient Yuanxing also looked at this magnificent old man. This look is extremely cold, and even has a bite of teeth. They all knew that it was this strong old man who did not know how to provoke each other, and brought this great disaster to them. Not only did they lose several leaders, but they also had to pay 100 universes. The price of the source stone can calm the other's anger. This strong old man, really it. No. Big boss, save me, save me. The strong old man was crazy at the moment. He thought that as long as he returned to the ancient Yuanxing, there were ancient Yuanxing strong men, and the big leader shot himself. Jian Wushuang could not kill himself. But now. Yes, all the strong men of his ancient Yuanxing shot, including the 4th leader of the 4th series, but the result was suppressed by the other one, and now the ancient Yuanxing oppressed by the other's own power had to bow his head. The other party is going to kill him now, and his ancient Yuanxing can't stop it at all. Humph. There was a cold hum, but the holy woman shot it herself. She directly performed swordplay. The strong old man had the 2nd-level peak combat power, and there was no power to fight in front of the holy woman. Her Excellency, those who offend you have been executed. Holy woman said. Yes. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. Take me to the cosmic passage of your ancient stars, and the 100 cosmic source stones are ready. Natural. The holy woman nodded. It was only half an hour later that the ancient Yuanxing handed over a Qianquan ring to Jian Wushuang. Within this ring, there are only a few cosmic source stones, most of which are cosmic crystals, and various resources and treasures. All of them add up to the value of 100 cosmic source stones. After Yuan accepted the ring, the ancient Yuanxing opened a cosmic channel. This cosmic passage leads to the Xinghe near the demon star field. You, the ancient Yuanxing, don't have to give it away. Jian Wushuang smiled, took his wife and the magic flame, and directly entered the universe channel. The leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing are very respectful on the surface, but they secretly gritted their teeth one by one, but they were helpless. Until Jian Wushuang completely disappeared in the cosmic passage, these strong men of ancient Yuan Xing only relieved. This guy, finally gone. My ancient Yuanxing is anyway that this galaxy is enough to rank in the top 10 Tsingtao forces, but it was suppressed by this man's own power, and he had to bow his head to pay for his sins, and he was only a second-level master. It was spread out that my ancient Yuanxing was scared to be a joke. This is the case, although this man is only the second-level master, but his combat power is really terrible. All the powerful players of the ancient Yuanxing are talking about shut up. A cold humming sounded suddenly, and the holy woman looked coldly, looking around. The powerful men of the ancient Yuan Xing were scared to speak immediately. The holy woman said lowly, "This time, my ancient Yuan Xing suffered a big loss. Not only did I lose several leaders, but I also paid the price of 100 source rocks of the universe. It was definitely a bruise, but fortunately this person there was no further oppression. My ancient Yuanxing lost a lot this time, but the foundation is still there. I can still find ways to make up for these losses in the future. But one thing you have to keep in mind in the future, if you hunt in Xinghe, you can score clearly, and your eyes should be brighter. Don't try to provoke some people who can't even provoke it. Like this time, the other party was obviously on a cosmic boat, it was doomed to be extraordinary, and my ancient Yuanxing went so far as to provoke it, it was foolish. I hope that such a thing will not happen again in the future. Did you all understand?" The holy woman glanced around coldly. Yes. The leaders of the ancient Yuan Xing all bowed their heads in fear and did not dare to look directly into the eyes of this holy woman. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.